Hi there, welcome back to my channel, Uniquely Rake and Handcrafted Cards. Today I'm going to make my Craft Roulette submission card for episode number 268. And the parameters for this week's episode were to make, hi Abby, go up, lay down, go on. This week's episode parameters were to make a project card for a student, to use element, something that's clothing, colors, modern, and random abstract blob. So card for a student, random clothing element, modern colors, and abstract blob. So I will be using those parameters, and I'm also going to be choosing from these two paper pads for my colors. I think they lend themselves very well to a modern theme, especially the black and white and this teal color with the gold foiling on it. This is the Stamps of Life Day-to-Day collection pad, and this one is called Backyard Table from Recollections from Michaels. So like I said, I'm going to use those two paper pads, and I also am going to use Operation Write Home sketch number 14 to create my card. I used this printable Operation Write Home. You can go to this website, or I'll link below the link I found on Senior Susie Stamps YouTube page where I found this printable. So I'm going to use number 14 to create my card. So I have already cut my pattern papers into those. The Operation Write Home sketches do have the dimensions on the card. So I've cut out my panels already, and I have a piece of dark colored of cardstock, which I'm going to probably be inking with the Cranberry stamp ink pad from Stamps of Life, which kind of coordinates with this color pretty well. This is a red color from a Recollections paper pad, so I'm using that to back my teal and gold foil paper. I think that sets it off nicely and will help offset this color on my card. So this is what my card's going to look like here, like this. And then the card sketch also calls for, let me leave this up here in the corner. The card sketch also calls for this other piece of paper. So I've cut a smaller piece of paper, then I'm going to link this over here. I'm going to use this piece of white paper to stamp my image. I'm going to use the aprons from Stamps of Life to stamp off my apron. And that's going to be my piece of clothing, And so this card could be a card for a student who might be at a culinary school, or someone who has learned to bake from maybe their grandmother, so they're a student of their grandmother who's baking. Now I've got an acrylic block here, and let me grab my secret weapon from Stamps of Life. That's that foam cushion pad. It will help me get a nice image. I've got my Memento ink. I'm going to cut two of these out because I am going to go ahead and make two cards. This apron also had a secondary stamp that's called Apron Patterns from the Stamps of Life, and it had several different patterns that came that are a secondary option. One has the hearts with the swirls, a flower, and then this one has the cooking elements or implements, the whisk and a spatula, a rolling pin, and an oven mitt. So I do like it's going to be a solid image stamp. Let me see. I think I'm going to color it. I do like the swirls. Let me get out this ocean color. Is kind of a teal color. So let me look at that and see how that will look against this dark red color, which is kind of a wine color. Using a solid image stamp like this allows you to bypass or not use markers or colors, but add colors to your image. So it's a fast way to get a color to your image without using markers. Mindless Crafting, it's called Textures 2, which does have a couple of blobs on them, just textures. So I'm going to be using that to create my random element, which is abstract blob. So I think I'm going to use just this piece here to kind of put some pieces behind and under. And I'm going to use the Cranberry ink pad to do that with. So let me get it blocked. And then get this out again. Now also I want this to be a little bit faint. So I'm going to use this piece of paper that I used to cut out one of my aprons, and I'm going to stamp off and then stamp onto my project. And I'm going to stamp here just so it peeks out a little bit, and then also down here. I'm going to hide, stamp over, so I don't want that on my secret weapon, so I'm going to get down there. I think I'm also going to use that teal color just to bring that in a little bit and do the same with it. That ocean. Now I've cleaned my stamp off. I'm just going to use the edge here. I'm going to twist it a little bit different way. Here we go, like this. There we go. Just a little, give it a little hint there. So that's what that's going to look like. Let me go over just this little edge so there's not a sharpness to this. There we go. Okay. So that's that. Let me adhere this down. So I found this die that says Enjoy the Moment from Stamps of Life from one of my card kits, and I cut it out in the ocean color, the background, and a gold foil that I had laying around, and I cut it out of the center piece out of a stitch dot card square. I can use the outer layer of this somewhere else, so I just use the inside pieces so I don't waste anything. So I can use that on another project, but that will bring some of that teal and gold foiling from the background over to the front. Let me find my tweezers. I didn't put any double-sided adhesive on the back of this, so I'm going to have to use my glue just to adhere this down. Roulette card number 268, we have all of the parameters. I really hope you've enjoyed watching me put this card together. I had a fun time making it, and that card sketch was from Operation Right Home sketch number 14. And you can find out more about Operation Right Home by visiting their website, or I will link Senior Susie stamps where I got the printout for these, the whole set of Operation Right Home sketches. And I have them in a binder, and it's really fun to go back and refer to those. But there's my card. I hope you've enjoyed watching me. I hope you come back and watch me again the next time I have a crafty video up. Leave me a comment and tell me what you liked about this card. I can't wait to hear from you. Have a great day. Bye.